What's up, Voodoo Lounge? I'll give it up for Mexican Danny DeVito. Lost in a roast battle to some douchebag. Just to fill y'all in. Y'all get up for my boy Megalito. He's not gay. Like he's Hispanic and he's not a mechanic, so people assume that he's gay. That's not why he's gay. His OnlyFans content is why he's gay. Alright, let's talk about me. Because that's what you guys have all been waiting for, as these idiots have been blabbering on for fucking 10 minutes at a time. What's the kid with the mullet have to say? I know what I look like, guys. We can just get to it. I look like Sid from Toy Story and Sid from Ice Age had a baby. Y'all need to go up to Roy, the producer of this show, and be like, hey man, if you're gonna book a white boy, at least book one that looks like he has credit. Like if he's gonna come all the way down here, we can bag him up. I don't even look like I'm good for getting anyone back across the checkpoint. Like we're all gonna get stopped. I look like y'all, I'm the kind of guy that makes y'all wish that they had checkpoints coming this way. If we can't go there, he shouldn't be allowed to come here. I have a mullet, it's a bro's haircut. It's a power bro move, not a lot of compliments from girls. The compliments I get, like the other day, this 45-year-old bus boy was like, I love your haircut, brother, live life. God, I hope I don't live your life, brother. And like, I have nothing against the kitchen. Like, I've worked in kitchens a lot. In fact, that's how I learned Spanish. And my first job was in this little town where I'm from called Porter Connor, which is pretty much like Canada to you people, I'd imagine. And that one made me laugh too hard. Anyway, so I work in this kitchen with these 3 old Mexican ladies, and they were super encouraging. I don't know what pinche gringo pendejo means, but they said it so encouragingly when I dropped dishes. You know that? Thank you. Oh man, I'm a full-time uncle, which is a lot like being a stepdad, except you don't get laid. And I know what you're thinking, this freaky dude with the mullet from Corpus wants his sister to bang him. Yeah, I know, that's what I keep telling people, man. And like, no, but I mean, at least you could offer. I do a lot for those kids. I'm just kidding. You think I want to bang anything that looks remotely like me? We have a genetic eye disease in our family, and so like when you have something like that, you probably shouldn't double dip. Like God fucked your bloodline up enough. You shouldn't get in the line for seconds. You already got a bad habit. White people food, no seasoning, you know what I mean? Just bland crap. But I'm a full-time uncle, which is cool because I have like 3 little, they're half Hispanic, and like, so I'll start with my niece. And so she's half Hispanic and she's half Irish, so she already has a drinking problem. We have to sneak in AA meetings between nap time or preschool. Like, everyone find a pallet, and I was like, not you, princess, you come talk to me and this counselor. She's cool. And then there's Doofus, and like I call him Doofus because he's an idiot. Like not in like a sense like he'll be fine in school, he's just dumb. And growing up, I have another blood brother and then another sister who has the kids, and then you know there's 2 boys and a girl that my sister has. So I was sitting on the porch watching them play, and I was talking to my grandma, and we call her Mammy, which is a racial term, but that's not what it means in this sense. My sister fucked up like Mama or some shit. Some white name that my grandma wanted to be called, and my sister fucked it up and called her some racist thing as like for like a black maid, but it's already stuck. Yeah, if you look up Mammy in the dictionary, it's not politically correct. But that is an awesome lady, and that's what she wants to be called, so that's what we're doing. But we were sitting out there watching the kids play, And she's like, it's like looking in a little time machine. And I was like, yeah, if we all had tans. And so I'm thinking, because one of my nephews is a pretty bright dude, and then the other one's doofus, right? And so I'm like, Mammy, which one am I? And she goes, if you have to ask, son, please don't make me tell you. So we're in it together, me and doofus. And then there's the Pudge, but we'll talk about him a little later. He's a little quick-witted guy. I like having siblings. Having siblings is cool. I only have an older sister, and then I have 3 younger brothers. And the cool thing about being the oldest boy is you get to control how the younger boys learn about sex, right? You can tell them whatever kind of bullshit you want, and your only frame of reference, probably not now with like the internet, but like coming up. And so my brother was probably like 8 or 9, which puts me about 15, right? So I'm just finding this stuff out for myself. And I don't remember how this conversation came about, but we're sitting there talking, and he's like, yeah, girls and guys pee the same. And I was like, no, they don't. Like, I don't know a lot about women, but I know that much. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. What was my, and so I'm talking to him, I'm like, what do you mean, man? He's like, yeah, it's all the same. And I was like, how do you think mom pees? And at the age of 9, and I quote verbatim, out of her big old dick? No. But I'm going to keep letting you believe that and make you have a conversation with our mother about this. We had these, there'd be like 3 or 4 of us in a room sometimes, and we'd have these big bunk beds. And like, fellas, when you're 12 or 13, it doesn't matter who's in the room, you're going to try to whack it. And like, you know, being one of the older ones, I was on the bottom bunk, and these bunk beds would squeak like a motherfucker when they started. So you just gotta close your eyes and sing yourself a little bedtime carol and have little bro rock you to sleep, you know what I mean? That's a true story. But like I said, my 2 younger brothers are adopted, right? And like, there's like a stigma that you can just make fun of those guys. Like, haha, you're adopted. You shouldn't do that. My youngest brother's 10 years younger than me, and he was in my room one day when I was a senior in high school, so he's like 7 or 8. And he's in there fucking around with something, and I was hungover. And so I just decided to choose violence when I woke up. And was like, hey, Derek, you know you're adopted, right? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, I didn't write a punchline for that. I thought that's all I needed for that one. And he wasn't even fazed. And I was like, yeah, you're adopted. He goes, yeah, I don't understand what your point is. Mom and Dad chose to have me. Mom's not even with your dad anymore. You gotta quit watching late night television, dude. I don't know who's teaching me this stuff. You know Mom's got a dick, right? I didn't say that. Mostly because I forgot about that conversation until about 3 months ago, and then I've been telling strangers about it because that seemed like the right thing to do. What else? What else do I have for you guys? I really enjoy coming down. Thank you to Recall Productions for having me and these other 2 idiots that I drug along with me. I did a show for them in McAllen in like August, right? And I did pretty good, and I did some of my blind jokes. And I came back down, did another show, and then went to another spot. And this big fat dude comes up to me, right? And he's like, I saw you last month. And I'm like, yeah, come tell Daddy how funny he is. Little secret about us, if we didn't perform at the venue that we're at, and you can tell us that we do jokes, we nut a little bit inside. Every time. Like a leaky faucet. And so I'm like, yeah, come talk to me. He's like, yeah, you're the comic with Down syndrome, right? I'm like, not quite, bud. He's like, I ate 600 milligrams of Delta 8 gummies that night, so I'm a little fuzzy. And I was like, Delta 8? You pussy? You sound like you have Down syndrome. Your body can't handle Delta 8 gummies? And then like, that was like a fun experience. Sometimes things happen that make you rethink what you tell on stage. I'll give you an example. I was in the roundabout area of my hometown, Victoria, Texas, doing a show, right? We do the show, and I do pretty good. I think it was a contest. I did pretty well in that one, too, but I didn't beat Anthony, so I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about the roast battle on the radio where I beat Anthony. I have a $20 toy belt. He doesn't. That's what this chalks up to.
Then he got robbed.
Someone put Grandpa to bed? Jesus Christ. Anyway, so we do the show, and then we go to another bar. I don't know, just cause. And so we go to the other bar, and this dude walks up with his chick, right? And the dude's like, hey, I was a bar back at your other show. Really funny. I got something I want to run by you. Again, you tell me how funny I am in a place I didn't do comedy? Not a little bit inside, so come talk to me. Meanwhile, his chick's talking to my buddy. I'm like, wait a second, I'm the talent. Why are these groupies talking? You didn't do shit tonight. But anyway, so he starts talking to me. And he's like, dude, I've been hooking up with this chick, right? I'm like, weird thing to talk to a stranger about, but whatever. He's like, I went and talked to my grandma about it. Turns out we're second cousins. And he goes, I hit that shit anyway, bro. And I'm looking at him like you're looking at me. I'm like, I don't fuck my cousin, dude. And so I've been rethinking those incest jokes a little bit. And then they leave. And my buddy comes up to me and he's like, hey man, what's pansexual mean? And I was like, I think it means she'll bang whoever. That's not the politically correct term, but like that's pretty much what it means. And he was like, oh, this girl's telling me she was pansexual and wanted to go back out to the truck, but I didn't know if that meant chicks with dicks, so I stayed away. And I was like, I gotta listen to fucking this dude tell me about banging his fucking family at the reunion, and you're getting hit on? I should have learned to play guitar is what I should have did. These jokes on getting anybody laid. Where am I on time? Alright. So I have a middle nephew, and his name is Pudgy. This one's way more wholesome than the garbage I've been telling y'all up to this point. And so I have this 4-year-old, or he's 5 now. His name's Pudgy, and he's the kind of kid like we were watching Forrest Gump, right? Me, my brother, and him. And there was like another adult at the house, so me and my brother were a little high. All right, it makes watching kids way more fun. Like we're just doing marijuana. I know I look like I do needle drugs, but I don't do needle drugs. Anyway, we're watching Forrest Gump, and it's like that part where he gets on the bus for the first time, and everyone's like, you can't sit here, seats taken, which is a weird way to treat a white dude in Alabama in the 60s, but that's neither here nor there. And he gets to Jenny, right? And she's like, you can sit here. And from behind us, this little dude goes, I wouldn't sit with her, that lady looks evil. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? I know how this movie plays out, and I'd probably still let her give me a hand job in a bowling alley parking lot if she wore a glove. That's not the wholesome part. So I'll leave you guys with this last little tidbit. So being a full-time uncle does have its perks. Not getting laid, but I got to coach the football team, which is cool. And so my oldest nephew was 6, the younger one was 4. So I got the older nephew a helmet that was nicer because he was like at the bottom of his size, and the younger one was about to grow out of his size. So I got the older nephew like he looked like a spaceman. How many had all the fixings? It was so shiny. And then I got the younger one a helmet for $50 from some old Mexican man in Kingsville, Texas, for $50. And it's beat to shit, guys. I almost feel bad like presenting both of them with it, but nothing happens and we go on about our lives.